Welcome back to the Junkyard Dogcast, and Georgia improves to 12-0 on the year for a second season in a row after a 31-23 victory at Georgia Tech. But Georgia fans probably didn't enjoy this one near as much as they thought because, well, I mean, you're looking at Georgia's performance. You look at how the referees kind of took over this game at a certain point. The amount of commercials at this game, it being 7:30 p.m. at night, actually 7:40 because of the overtime game before it. This whole thing has not been really the Thanksgiving weekend game that Georgia fans wanted to enjoy, but at the end of the day, Georgia comes out with a win, stay undefeated on the year, set a new Southeastern Conference record with their 29th consecutive win, which, again, today's performance notwithstanding, you still have to remember this team is, again, won 29 straight games, guys. It's an incredible accomplishment for Kirby Smart in this program. And, looking at this game against Georgia Tech, it was yet another opportunity for Georgia to dominate an inferior opponent. And this was, once again, the Dogs playing with their food, playing down to their opponent and letting Georgia Tech stay in this game and keep it, again, a one-score game until the very end, something that should not have happened. Obviously, Georgia coming in 24.5-point favorites on the road. This is a game where you were hoping to come out without any injuries and playing the backups, and that did not happen. The starters were in this game from start to finish. Hopefully, Georgia was able to come out of this thing mostly injury-free. Didn't really see any major injuries in this game. I think, you look at Javon Bullard getting banged up but coming back in. Obviously, a big sign there. But overall, this was a performance to forget for really everyone not named Kendall Milton. Once again, Kendall Milton is playing the best football of his life when Georgia has needed it the most. A career performance by Kendall Milton, coming off of a big senior night performance. He goes into Atlanta for the last time against Georgia Tech and runs for 156 yards and 2 touchdowns. Really, imposing his will on Georgia Tech defenders and showing the kind of talent that everyone kind of looked for from him when he came to Georgia. He looked like that, top 100, top 50 running back out there against Georgia Tech. And honestly, the last 4 or 5 games, this is the Kendall Milton that Georgia fans have wanted to see and that Georgia needs. And when heading into December, obviously a big game next week against Alabama for the SEC championship, but that's exactly what you want to see out of your top running back going into postseason play. You're going to need a lot from him. And I said he was the one guy who kind of had that performance that's up to Georgia's standard. I'll actually add Dylan Bell to that. Back-to-back big weeks. He's now, emerging when Georgia's got wide receivers banged up. You didn't see Lad McConkey out there, no Robert Thomas. And then also, Brock Bowers being held out, precautionary, holding these guys out, trying to get ready again for that SC championship game. So Dylan Bell once again steps up as one of the most dependable playmakers on this team. Has 3 catches for 37 yards. Had that big 29-yard run, and also had a big return as well. I believe he had a 39-yard kickoff return. So gave Georgia big plays when they needed it most. And also, Dominic Lovett had a solid game as well. 5 catches for 68 yards, had that touchdown catch. There were guys making plays when they needed it to. Not the best day from Carson Beck out there. Obviously, he had that pick across the middle where he kind of forced it in there. Forced a throw he didn't need to make. Still, threw for 175 yards and a touchdown. Kind of came up short in that slide when he needed to get that first down. Came up 3 yards short of the first down marker. Kirby Smart let him know, next time, buddy, you got to make sure you try to get as close to that first down marker as you can on a slide like that. But overall, not Beck's best performance, and definitely a performance that Georgia's defense would like to have back, allowing an opponent to score 23 points for the first time this season. You obviously don't want that to be Georgia Tech, your in-state rival. A lot of the linebacker play, you don't have a Pop out there. You don't have Jamon Dumas-Johnson out there. You're asking Smile Munden and a freshman and C.J. Allen to step up. C.J. had a outstanding game against Ole Miss. This game is a game that he would like to have back, even though he had 8 tackles, tied with Smile Munden for the team lead. Missed a lot of reads out there and allowed a lot of, just extra yards, after contact, and yards that should have been tackles for loss in this game allowed Georgia Tech's ball carriers to really get upfield and get huge chunks of yardage on this defense that has overall played solid all year. But this performance against Georgia Tech, I mean, this was a team that came in turning the ball over a lot, kind of couldn't get out of its way. Credit to Hanks King, played an outstanding game, but at the end of the day, allowing Georgia Tech to get 363 yards, allowing them again to continue to move the chains on third down. I think it's something that Kirby Smart will probably take into next week's practice, and I have to imagine it's going to be as physical practice as Georgia's had all season as they prepare for Alabama. But overall, Georgia came out with a win, and that's the most important part of this game, was just coming out as injury-free as possible, getting the win. They did enough to get it done. They forced Georgia Tech to settle for field goals. They took advantage of the clock in the second half. Georgia Tech threatened even in the fourth quarter, but in the end, I think, obviously Georgia was never really in doubt of losing this game. It just wasn't able to put it away as early as any of us really kind of thought right now. But again, you look at the fact that Georgia had several starters out. Tate Ratledge was also, dressed out but didn't participate. So you don't have your right guard in there. You don't have 2 your starting wide receivers. You don't have your tight end. Those are big time playmakers, and it was noticeable on offense, but they had guys, rise to the occasion. They made history, like I said, with that win streak. And now they're at an unprecedented time in program history. I think the last time they go undefeated 3 consecutive regular seasons was 1993 to 1995 in Nebraska. Long time ago. But now, again, this clean old-fashioned hate continues to be one-sided. 6 straight wins in the series now. They're now 71-41-5 against the Yellow Jackets. And I think if you're Kirby Smart, you're now 11-1 as a player and as a coach against Georgia Tech. I know that means a lot to him. And this next week is going to mean a lot to Georgia as it tries to get into the college football playoffs again. Big showdown with the top 10 team in Alabama, who coming off beating Auburn 27-24. So 2 close games, both closer than either team thought they would be. And now, once again, you play for the conference championship. This is what they suited up for. This is what they practice all offseason for. And we'll be discussing that matchup all week on Dawgs 247. But for this edition of the Junkyard Dogcast, I'm Kip Adams. You guys have a great weekend.